my fourth video over part 2 of ELC's summer update. Let's get into it. I'm not sure if you've noticed this or not, but 2 days ago, Mr. Fergie made a whole new announcement, basically going over all of the brand new additions and bug fixes of the first part of ELC's summer updates. And I can tell you how this may affect the release date of part 2 as well. Now, if you go ahead and look at this image or picture, or the announcement here, you'll see over the past several days, we pushed several fixes and improvements following part 1 of the summer update. Here's a list of everything we've changed so far. So as you see, they fixed a few build issues, they fixed the knife not being able to end players, they added more abilities for co-owners, and a bunch of quality of life updates, in which was broken when part 1 of the summer update released earlier, about a week ago. And because of them having to make a whole separate or new announcement about the summer update, that makes me to believe that they're going to spend even more time at fixing the bugs and testing part 2 of the summer update than they did with part 1. And if there was about a 21-day difference from when they first announced that they were working on the summer update and to when it was published, my original guess was that it would be coming out July 15th to 20th, or to the 17th, July 15th to 17th. It may actually be released at like July 20th, as they maybe spend like a full another week fixing just the bugs and things that were broken, because I'm pretty sure they would not want a more broken release than what this was. So speaking of that, the time that you'll see part 2 of the summer update actually releasing will be pushed back, or at least that's my theory. I still think that it's going to be coming July, definitely coming July, but maybe a little bit later than I first thought in the previous episodes. I just want to get that out there because of all the bug fixes. Usually they would not make a full announcement covering all the bug fixes, but today they have, and so that leads me to believe that it's going to be a little more delayed for part 2 of the update to come out. But now it's time to get into some of our theories. So one of my recording crew members said that maybe a walking trail will be added to High Rock Park because there's already one at the lake. Now this also makes sense because, every single update, High Rock Park gets upgraded, and with the summer update, High Rock Park was upgraded with some signs at about every turn or curve, or I guess sharp turn of High Rock Park. So maybe part 2, we will be primarily focused in High Rock. Just like how I said, a mining job may also possibly be coming into part 2. Like I said a few videos ago, maybe the second one, I'm not really sure, I can't really remember that far. But I was going over some theories with High Rock, and I really think in part 2 of the summer update, there will be a massive update or upgrade to High Rock Park. Now, I'm not sure if there would be more forest or if it would be more of an underground or maybe a visual appearance update, but we will see, especially since all the trees were already revamped, which is a pretty big update to the forested areas in the first place. So I'm thinking maybe a walking trail would be added from probably not the entrance, but maybe the second entrance heading all the way to the nature trail, so maybe like cuts across some of the paths and roads, maybe even a bridge over some of the steep like pathways. I know there's a few of them. Maybe like a little walkway to, going cutting straight through High Rock Park, just to add some more variety and stuff. You can have like a wooden walkway bridge. I think that'd be really cool to have. And it would also be a pretty reasonable upgrade, like just a dirt path, which is pretty simple as well. And the next thing is a suggestion that I know some of you guys want, and that is a smaller bank in Springfield. So as you know, Springfield recently got updated with part 1 of the summer update, and I don't think Springfield will actually be getting updated in part 2, but may still be a theory that it gets updated, and one of the things that could be added would be a brand new small bank into Springfield. So it would basically be replacing the area to where the ATM in Springfield is, and instead of an ATM, it would be a small bank, kind of like the bank in Anomic if you've ever played that, but it just wouldn't be as big as the one in River City. Maybe like a smaller chain instead of the one in River City. Maybe it's like Springfield Bank. It'd be a community bank, so it wouldn't hold like thousands, maybe about like 2,000 of 7,000 each robbery. There'd be a small little vault, but gas would still also be happening. I think a secondary bank would be pretty cool and also be very helpful for when you're grinding. Just like how I reached 1 million in yesterday's video, as you saw there, if you watched it to the end, hopefully you did. I think a secondary bank would be pretty reasonable, but it may just mess up the ratio, because if there's too many banks or we get all these robbery things added, the game may become too crowded. So it may not arrive, but I would hope it it will as well, and I feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit too. So guys, do you remember the small hotel or apartment building that has not been changed since ELC's release? Like, I'm serious. Look at the thing. It's not been updated since the release. I think that this may be able to be changed into like some sort of apartment building with real interiors, just like how Greenville or Southwest Florida did their apartment buildings. I think that's how this building could maybe come, unless they hold the potential for this building to be upgraded or completely changed within more or later updates. But the thing is, it is such a small plot to update, I'm not sure if they would even be able to. Probably why they held off on upgrading it, because it'd just be too small of a plot to make any additions. Like, you won't be able to fit a pool in there, barely be able to fit like proper size rooms in there, unless it's like maybe one room aside. You like, it'd be a very small hotel, or at least for the like the width of it'd be a very small like width hotel. It'd be pretty long in length, but it would just be way too short in thickness for it to actually become a real hotel, which is why I think maybe this hotel building will stay the same until a later updates later on, maybe like 2024 or later on in 2023. Maybe we get a full-on map change. I'm not really sure, but I think a hotel upgrade is imminent, guys, so let's keep a lookout on that, or for that as well. Now, speaking of the bank, or the smaller bank I was talking about earlier, like just a moment ago, I think another thing that could be added to Springfield is a gun shop. As you saw in the thumbnail, a gun shop, a small little shop, maybe competitor to the gun store in Liberty County, or River City at least, not Liberty County. It could be a small little gun store which maybe holds different guns, and that would also work together because people are wanting upgraded sounds. Like, all the guns in ELC kind of have some boring sound effects. I think if the gun system or sound system got completely revamped for weapons, it would be great, and it would also be a cool addition as well. So let's get a new gun store, maybe in the same area that you saw in the thumbnail. It's right next to Liberty Apparel. Let's get a gun shop there with maybe different guns, or maybe the same guns. It doesn't really matter to me. It could be any sort of guns, and also maybe a complete gun revamp, even though we got one just a little bit ago. Maybe it could be a sound revamp, because just to change the audio effect for the gunshots, and that would also be pretty cool as well. And also, inspiration from, I guess, GTA would be a fake Twitter app to where you could go on your phone. Also, being a part of the updated or revamped phone I talked about in yesterday's video. Or I guess not really yesterday's video, the last episode, right? I talked about it in the last episode. A brand new phone where I was talking about there would be a navigation system. Maybe there could also be social media apps where you could just go onto it, maybe post, take a picture of where you are, take a picture, post like, hey, 3 guys, truck is open at the lake, come visit me. You could post it on the Twitter, and everybody would see, probably a non-copyrighted name, though some sort of social media app would be very cool to see in Liberty County. And I think it'd also be a possible addition, which, wouldn't be too hard. Maybe it would be something difficult to just like completely reprogram the phone, but it is definitely a needed update since the phone has not been changed since its release, disregarding the Valley Transit part of the phone, I guess. So if we could get social media apps in a completely revamped phone, that would be great. I'd love to just post on there, hey, I'm selling some free 3 guys over the lake, come visit by, or maybe like drag races, or even car shows at the parking garage. If you could just announce those, that would be absolutely great. And another thing that has not been updated or upgraded in a while is the SWAT Bearcat and the SWAT team overall. Guys, when was the last time you've seen the SWAT team get updated? I think maybe only when the Bearcat was revamped like so many years ago. But really, none of the gear or anything has been changed on the SWAT team. None of the vests, none of the uniforms. I think we need a revamped SWAT team, but not to where like people would have to rebuy the Game Pass. It's going to be the same Game Pass, but it's just going to be upgraded and better. Maybe some more content will be added. I really don't think it's really applicable to always be using a Bearcat when you need armored vehicles. So I think maybe a SWAT van that is armored would be a pretty cool idea. Comment your thoughts down below on that. But I'm not really sure how technical and how good that would look. But still, comment your ideas of how the SWAT team could be revamped below. And maybe the devs could see this and maybe take that for inspiration. The SWAT team being completely upgraded / revamped would be a very welcome addition. And to end this video off, let's check out your comment suggestions. So, from Mary Fletcher, hopefully I said that right, to make things easier for civilians, one had a gun shop in Springfield in which I got inspiration for this video, so shout out to you. There could be new weapons, like a toy gun because of children, and then extended, so I guess customizable weapons, and also a M17 for both civilian and PD to use, and a bunch of just other stuff. Don't mind me, just love guns. I can tell. You've got a lot of detail added in as well. Marksman's rifle, 70 damage for close range and far range, and a scope as well for a, upgradable sniper. I think if you got another sniper, it'd be very cool, because right now we only have the Remington, which, we need that. So let's get a weapons upgrade, as I replied about an hour ago. I think it'd be really cool. Let's check out our next comment. We need police motorcycles. Now, I know that police motorcycles are added, but somebody commented and said that they would literally quit the game if motorcycles were added to ERLC, and that it'd be really difficult to, add the animations for stuff. But I'm so confused about that. I don't think it would be too complicated. We don't really need a full motorcycle animation to where we're on one wheel. I forgot what this is called, but we don't need to have a whole animation for that. I just take a regular motorcycle, even if both wheels stay on the ground. It'd still be pretty cool. So yeah, police motorcycles as well to help out with escorts. I'm not sure why the person would quit, but comment down below if you're that person, and I'll read your comment, and I guess I'll hear you out, because I want to hear your opinions, and maybe I'll do another comment suggestion at the end of my next video. So leave some comments down below. You should let others drive your car when you allow them to, because that would be useful. Now, maybe about this, but I'm not really sure. One thing I would maybe say is maybe a feature to lock your car. Maybe to where how Greenville does it, to where you can control it by your phone. But I wish you can just lock your car sometimes, because when I do these streams, it sometimes can get hectic, which is on Saturdays, 2 p.m. EST. Just a quick plug right there. If they add a harvester to the farm, I'm going to be patrolling in Springfield or in the city and get hit by a runaway harvester. Oh my god. I know this is not really a suggestion, but this is a W comment. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I've turned this in segment to a hate comment reading, but the reason the devs probably released the update early is because of all these theories. Go play the game or something and let the devs work. Now, I'm not sure what you mean by this, because I wasn't making theories when they first released, and they published that they were releasing the update themselves at the day it came out. So I'm not sure how we would have pressured them. What I want: trains for this game. I don't care what time, I just want trains. For example, there would be rails and crossings all over the maps. The trains would be NPC vehicles and just drive around. There could also be train derailments and a new disaster for the DOT and FD teams. Also, if your car went into the train, it'll take tons of damage. Maybe if the train got hit, it'd be like the car would just explode, like a massive boom going on right there. That's a pretty nice suggestion, but I really don't think trains will be coming. Trains would be way too complicated. It'd make the server way too laggy, especially with all the scripts being used to even make the train move in the first place. So it may be difficult, but it would be very cool if executed properly. To be honest, I want a gun store in Springfield because there's a mod shop and no gun store. Yes, I mean, if somebody's camping the gun store in River City, you are kind of doomed. I'm not sure what you're going to do, but I'm pretty sure you're doomed. And, I think I'm going to wrap it up with this comment here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys all later. Remember, comment down below, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.